Hey everyone, this is Katina again from IAT1M Ministries, and I wanted to share some interesting. I don't know if it's interesting. Maybe so many people have already posted about food shortages. I know when I've got warning and I was prompted by the Lord to warn and tell people what was coming. This was last year ago, but as we know in the Bible, it took what Noah to 100 and something odd years, almost 200 years, to get the ark builded and be prepared, pretty much prepare for what was coming. And even with Joseph and the famine, they had 7 years to prepare. But what we are facing and approaching now, we don't know the time that we have. So if Noah went from seven not seven, if Noah went from 100 and something odd years, so almost 200 years, to where Joseph 7 years, and what last year, many people have been talking about it for years, but just the high alert that has been up and coming since what, from last year, to where we are now. Who knows what, 2 years. This is, we should have had enough time, plenty enough time, to prepare for what's coming and what's to come. So I just wanted to share the warning signs. Like, these are true signs that it is here. Like, we know it's here, but it is like there's so many people just saying, all right, it's time. Just about what different people are saying behind the scenes, especially if they work for establishments with respect to food. If they're, I've listened to one person's channel, to where they know someone from the inside, to where they've attended trainings to handle irate people because of what's coming. And it's ridiculous how there's a staff meeting being held for managers on how to handle irate people because of what's coming. I don't know if they're training them on how to deal with the crowds and how everything that's about to happen, but I guess they better have a couple of police officers on site and on duty at these places to maintain, because it's going to be much worse than what we had to deal with last year. And just hearing just certain things, as far as with trucks, and even my own shopping, just casually talking with people in the store. Just we were just doing some little odd and end shopping, and just running to somebody. He was talking about how one of his friends, as far as like what working for food, and he was saying like there was food that was I guess in this, I guess food is held at a certain place before I guess orders are placed and shipment is done in like our different chains of stores. But a lot of it was either like going bad to where they had to throw it out. And with all these different weather patterns of flooding and droughts and intense heat, and then we have frosts, and there's just so many things that's going on. It just reminds me of the wave, the dream that I had of these waves. They just kept coming and coming and coming. So it was like a trickle effect. Like it was just wave after wave after wave, and it just didn't stop unless I woke up. But it just goes to show you how the different things have an impact and an effect of our crops. That's just crops. I had a dream about water and not having water in the faucet. So we're just looking at those different things and how they are consistent with what other people has been saying. I've went out to the grocery store just to kind of pick up some things to have for the weekend and just make. But I noticed some other things, so I wanted to share with them on your tablet. Hopefully on my tablet, hopefully you'll be able to see it. But I noticed the crazy thing was, all right, so I was in a BJ's, And I just went to go just look. I saw like, you see a lot of bald spots. So people have been reporting the bald spots for some time now. But then you look at the bald spots, and then you look at like, when are these things going to be replenished? When are they going to be replenished? So the thing is expiration dates. So I have this here. I don't know if you can see that. You should be able to see it. So the expiration date says used by August the 7th, 2021. Hopefully you can see that. So that expiration date there on some guacamole. And the crazy thing is that they had quite a few of it on the shelf with the yellow labels. I don't know if you could see that in the background, but they had quite a few of it, a bit of it. And so here it is. It's reduced by 30%, and they needed to sell it. So August the 7th, which is today. And I went there on, you'll see on my tablet. Where did I go? When did I go? I went Thursday. So today is Saturday. I went Thursday, and they were, they were getting rid of food that is due to expire like in days. But some things will, the way you can preserve it, you can make it last. And if you're not getting food by now, that, or if you haven't gotten food like a while back when it was fresh or whatever, you still got time to get it now, because plenty of us that has, stored food or did whatever is going to be, I'm pretty sure, going to be eating some well past expired food, so long as you got some in your house. But the crazy thing was, like when I went to BJ's and I just went to go in the refrigerator aisle, and I saw a little bare spot, to where butter was. The butter was expiring in November 8th, 2021. There was no sale on that butter whatsoever. So here, I just showed you foods that's expiring, that's going on sale. And then they got foods to where they're expiring and they're not going on sale. So if you haven't gotten anything now, and you can look up on getting something on sale, I guess for the guacamole, before it turns brown, it's but so long that this is even going to last. So, but I guess it's for the butter. I guess they figured, okay, no, we still can make some money off this butter. This is not going to go on sale. So I just wanted to bring your attention to the fact that, listen, it was a lot of sales, but then no replenishment in sight. And then sales, but then a lot of this stuff, they're going to be having to throw it off the shelves. And if it can't be preserved some way, shape, or form somehow, Another thing that I saw, which was like same store, I'm just like, this is crazy. Yeah. So you see that there? So that was a nice little package of some apples and cheese. The apples were starting to turn brown. And look at the cheese. Look at that cheese. I don't know if you can see it, but yes, that is mold. The cheese is molded. So food is going bad. It's molded. My aunt has been reporting this to me since last year, how she's been getting certain things, and the stuff has been I think she said she was getting some cornmeal, she wanted to fry some fish, and there was bugs in the cornmeal or whatever have you, and the stuff is not good whatsoever. And she checked the expiration date or whatever have you, but however they're storing or whatever is going on, it's a problem, because even my son, he works for like shipping, and, they had to unload some milk or organic milk. And he was saying how the milk just sat because of, there was a point in time to where there was a lot of storms and things like that. And there was a backup of orders and deliveries. And then a lot of stuff just came in at one time. And because of, there's a lot of people that either not working, took time off, they're tired. A shipment of milk, or whether it was organic, I forget what he said, but the milk was just sitting there. And you got people who buy this stuff, or it was already in the works for them to get, and look at, we're eating and we're drinking, we're partaking of stuff to where this is not good. This is either going to be unhealthy for us, or is number one, like once it goes, it's gone. There's a shortage. There's a real problem. So yeah, just another photo. I think it's a little bit better there. But yes, and again you can see that's Thursday. I took, and that was what, 5, I went in the afternoon that day. But yeah, that is some molded cheese. The food is not good. Another picture, like I said, bare spots. You can see like here and there, you know, what everybody, the bald spots. Everybody is pretty much reporting the same thing. And you know, I went to our local Costco. You know, if they're packaging things to where, you know, a lot of preppers are suggesting is a good idea, then you know they must know something too. Because I saw, what is the life straws here, a good 4-pack, a nice decent sale for $50. Because when you see them anywhere else, they're anywhere from what, 12, no, that's cheap, $17 or however much they cost in some of these places. So if you're looking for life straws, you can go to Costco to get them. I also saw this was interesting too, these travel johns. So looks like they're like urinal bags, male, female. You literally can just hold the bag up to where you are or where, you know, the release is, and then you use the bag for, you know, urine. And I was reading this container, it's like you can get like up to 6 uses. So, and it just, the bag just gets gelacious like a pamper, a diaper for a baby. So I just thought that was interesting too. So I just, you know, just sharing some things for people who haven't prepared, or, you know, look at what happened with Texas, you know, especially what they talked about as far as the bathroom and that situation. Another thing that I was thinking about, they had this this at Walmart. There's a toilet seat to where you can kind of put it on a 5-gallon bucket, and just put a plastic bag in there. So I'm just like thinking, all right, so how do we make this work? Because if we don't have no water, we can't flush our toilets. All right, so maybe get some garbage bags. You can probably like kind of sit it in the place of your toilet, and you know, if it's a number one, you know, if you got newspaper around, put the newspaper inside the garbage bag, and then just get rid of it, toss it. Make sure, I've been making sure, you know, our garbage is constantly being thrown out, you know, for you to throw it out. Number 2, I'm just like, okay, so how do you, you know, rid odor, and how do you rid, like, maintaining keeping your house, or just keeping clean, because you don't know what the circumstance is going to be, how long it's going to last. So, you know, the toilet, I'm like, okay, maybe baking soda, go ahead on, put that plastic bag, get maybe like a 10 or 15 gallon bags, place it inside your toilet. And then, you know, if you gotta go, you gotta go. And because if you're still eating, or if you got, you know, a way to eat, you're going to need to dispose of your waste, whether it be, you know, by urine or the other, number 1 or number 2. So number 1, you know, just, you know, besides the tissue, going in there and maybe soaking up in the bag, and then just take the bag and throw it out. Costco had bulk 10-gallon, 15-gallon bags or whatever, something like that. So those were some of the things that I was looking at as far as like the bathroom or whatever have you, because, you know, you want to make sure you got, you know, sanitation, you know, just trying to keep things as normal as possible, with, you know, just looking at the unexpected, you know, heat, power outage. You know, our power has actually went off 3 times. This was what, maybe a week or 2 ago, and you know, I just thought it was just kind of really odd, and especially to where I'm having to reset my clock. And you know how when your stove goes off or whatever, and you got to sit up here and press the button. Yeah, and I'm just like, all right, so this is just a little bit too much going on here. With respect to heat, I don't listen. I'm just trying to give some tips here, but I know a lot of people have been talking about the buddy, and you know, you do have those propane things. So there is the buddy, and the propane tank. Also, let me see. Yeah, I took a picture of, like, they had some of those. They have like a lot of those freeze dried foods, and there's the Life Straw. I don't. I think that price. I think it's in the wrong spot. But yeah, they had some freeze dried food. But I'll leave a link. But the freeze dried food that we looked into is Thrive Life. I actually like created an account. So, this is not commercial. This is like, listen, just trying to, like, if you want something other than something to put in the refrigerator and freezer and it's not going to go bad, the shelf life is 25 years in an unopened can. And these are things that, just like looking into, forgetting, and especially trying to get these things before shipping and any of this other stuff get crazy when stuff hits the fan. So I did sign up through Thrive Life and created me an account, and I just got this by word of mouth as well. So and Thrive Life is the looking at it, like, comparing it to other different, like, freeze dried foods and all this other stuff, like with sodium, like, just like looking at certain things health wise. That's why I went with them. But some of these other ones, for me, it just I just didn't see it as an option, as far as, like, depending upon, like, how long or just whatever we had to be, where we had to be in whatever state. Then that's what I wanted to kind of go with, and looking at that. I also saw these walkie-talkies. Again, if we're, I don't know, if grid or communications and batteries tend to, if they run out, or power, whatever, I don't know, staying in contact with your family. I'm wondering about, my mom, my grandma, just certain, relatives that you want to make sure you keep in touch with. Some radios 20-mile radius, but if you're in a city, I know it lessens, the I guess the length of, the range of which you have to talk. So if you're in an open field, I did take the time to go learn that, because I didn't have the knowledge of that. But anyways, I'm just thinking, like, listen, we got to take this back to Underground Railroad or whatever, and find a way to communicate. So let me see. I think that was it. But just, again, I just wanted to just shed light on, I did share in, again, videos last year, as far as, dry things. We focused or just looked at dry things. But look, if we're going to be down on water, you got to have enough water for cooking. I mean, this water isn't just meant for just drinking. We have to, all right, we talk about going to the bathroom. If you can't flush your toilet, you got to wash your hands. And if you're going to eat, washing these dishes, like you literally would have to pretty much, like, just take a napkin or whatever, and then just slate that plate somehow clean. Because if you're not going to have any water, it just goes to show you, like, what and how we take what we have for granted. And we have to look at the things that we have and how we could not have them in an instant. So just looking at water, and what we do with water. We won't have access to flushing the toilet, washing our clothes, cleaning our home, cleaning the dishes. We're literally are going to have to dummy down, or, like, really, like, take it down to, I guess, are you planning on brushing your teeth? Like, how, like, to certain things, to a certain extent, like, what are you going to really want to have your water for? And if you're, relying on the fact that you're going to stand in line with the possibility of you not even having access to that type of stuff, then, what are you going to do? So, yeah, we looked into a lot of dried things, just looking at just maintaining, whatever we could for shelf. And, if we get to that point to where we're going to go beyond that shelf life or the expiration date, then, hey, at least we got food. So I know, with just buying rice, and if it lasts certain years or whatever have you, the Mylar bags, just looking into Mylar bags, looking into, you know, get the bay leaves. Bay leaves will help to keep stuff from going bad, or at least for flowers or cornmeal, certain things like that. Bugs don't like them, so they ain't going to grow. There's no going to be no bugs in your stuff. So, you know, get some bay leaves. You can get them in a good bulk quantity as well, in your, you know, your BJ's, your Costco's, and, you know, even, you know, some of the chain stores, supermarkets. You can get them in the big container. So, but yeah, I'm just like thinking about things as far as like power, water, your food, you know, looking for heat. Make sure you have access to, you know, coats, gloves, hats, scarves, you know, socks, you know, just layers, extra layers of stuff. Whether we want to, you know, come to the realization of it or not, we are approaching a winter. And that was another dream I had. I know I saw myself in a coat and drinking something hot. I know we were sitting around like camped about, and from what I saw, it seemed like I was outside. So unless just given the feel that the dream was outside, I don't know necessarily if we're gonna be outside, but it what God was showing me, or just what that dream was showing me, as far as like, it's cold, you're outside, but just be prepared. You know, you're gonna be cold, but you know, what I saw in the dream, it was just like we were comfortable, even though we had our coats on, we were bundled up, we were drinking something warm and hot. We were at peace, and I'm thankful that, you know, I was able, you know, I was being shown a dream to where, regardless of the circumstance or situation, that, you know, God has you covered. He's got your back. You know, you ride this out just like everybody else is, and what everybody else is going through, you know, you won't go through, because you heeded, you prepared, you did what you had to do. And we all have to do our part. You know, we're warning, we're telling you what you should be prepared for and how to get prepared. There's many videos, and, you know, I just pray that this video, you know, alone with just seeing the signs that, especially what I saw on the shelves, as far as, you know, we see the bald spots, we see that there is like hit or miss, but then when you hear people's videos, as far as, you know, they're training managers on how to deal with irate customers, of what's to come this fall. And September is like right around the corner, and so is our winter. And, you know, these lines, and, you know, I don't know how cold, like, we've had some, like, when the temperature dropped in these past couple of weeks, the temperature has been really low through the night. So like, that's another thing, like looking at that and seeing that, that's a possibility of knowing that we more than likely will have a cold winter if we're facing like a drop like that, from extreme 100-degree weather to now 60-degree low nights. It's we better wake up. We better wake up, and we better heed these warnings. And, you know, the grocery stores is one thing as far as food, but, you know, these temperatures and, you know, floods and droughts, that's another. So, and, you know, the world is being impacted by what's going on, especially with respect to the food. If there's floods going on in one area, that's it's definitely affecting the crops. And then you see with the coffee beans, oh my goodness, I'm sitting up here telling my son, I'm like, oh, go get whatever you're gonna get. I'm not a coffee drinker, but, you know, for those in my household who do drink what they drink, if this is what you want, you better get it, and you better, you know, get what you want to get and get it now, because with what the prices that they're charging, and there's no sales even on molded food, let alone soon to expire food. And they going to make whatever they can make because they know you're desperate and you want it. we better wake up. We better wake up. So these are some warning signs, if any, that I've seen, to where like I just thought was just crazy, to the point to where it doesn't look like there's going to be no replenishing in sight on these things. And you got expiration dates, but then at least you got the expired stuff in the front of it, and then you have like the restocked stuff in the back of it. So you have a choice whether you want to sit up here, and then if anything, they're gonna put they're gonna put the expired or soon to expire stuff on sale, and that's a lot of what I saw. But then there looked like there was no replenishing in sight, and usually if there is, there is a sale, and even if you did get something that was soon to expire, but they also usually have the newly fresh items like right behind it. So I know I've seen that too, to where they're stocked the shelf, but the stuff that's more fresh is usually right behind the soon to expire stuff. So I mean, another thing, I've been looking for like almond milk, coconut milk for a while and still can't find it. So I've looked into going into the powdered the goat milk, of which they have by that, what is that purple and white container, Meyer by Meyer, I don't know the name of it, but we don't do really dairy in the house, but go into goat milk as opposed to regular cow's milk. We tend to try to stay away from dairy things, but for the sake of our children, we go to something to where we know that they'll be like, all right. But hey, listen, if we facing the point to where we you got to eat what you gonna eat, I bet you they'll eat what gets cooked up in this house. But I just pray that you see the signs, you see what's out here. Like, if what people aren't saying is not getting your attention, and these bald spots is not getting your attention, look at these expiration dates. Is these dates, like, I've seen this stuff since some of the stuff since just trying to prepare from a while back, and then trying to replenish your food, because some of the things that you've prepared for, you've done eaten some of those things as well too. So we've been given some time to prepare, and just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it isn't going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, and then we prayed, of which I'm very hopeful for, to where things will turn around and God will heal our land, and I'm pretty sure he will. But if things have to happen in his way and his time, according to his will and his way, we have to be prepared for it. So look at the warnings, look at the signs that are out here, like heed the warnings, look at the signs that are out here, and seeing molded food, and seeing things that are on sale, versus things that are even expired and not on sale. That's a sign enough. So if you haven't already, get to your supermarket, think about whether the fact that where we will have power or not have power, whether we will have access to water or not have access to water. Look at the things, especially when it comes to using the bathroom. Look at the alternatives of what you can do to stay comfortable, and you'll look at the things that'll help you maintain your sanity. And we know that God will provide, but in the end, we have to discern, use, be wise, and prepare, and know what will keep us comfortable, and while we seeking refuge under the Lord's wing. So keep not Psalms 91 at your site. Keep the Lord's, or in your pocket. Keep the books, games, we even board games, whatever that's going to keep us comfortable and help us maintain sanity. Keep the word, because that's going to stay close. I've even looked at some tape decks and recordings and things like that, trying to record stuff, to maintain a sense of just maintain a sense of, again, just what we've had, just comfort. So I just hope you just evaluate your household and look at what will help you to maintain a sense of peace, besides the word. Go ahead on, get Psalm 91, have your Bible ready, and have your hymns in hand, and stay at rest, stay in peace, under God and under His word. God bless.